Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I usually do individual book reviews when I do a book review video versus a whip and chat or something along that line. But in this video, I decided to do two reviews in the same video. And that's because I read an older book just prior to the release of the second book that will be reviewed in the video. Now, they're both by Stacy Green, and they are books 1 and 2 in the Nikki Hunt series. The first review will be The Girls in the Snow, and I'm popping that book cover up now. I'll give you that review, and then I'll segue right into the next one, which is One Perfect Grave. I have only today, I believe, is the 19th, and One Perfect Grave will be released on the 25th. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and publish both of these reviews in one video. Okay, I kind of had to rethink that. So let's get to it. Who is Nikki Hunt? Nikki Hunt is a special agent with the FBI. She's part of a newly formed behavioral analysis unit. I'm sorry, I should know that because I used to watch Criminal Minds. Anyway, she's part of the BAU, and she has a very, very intense job. And her ex-husband Tyler, not her husband, her ex-husband Tyler also works for the FBI, but it's more like a clerical job, so he's not out there in the field like she is. So whenever she has certain cases, their 6-year-old daughter stays with her dad. So that's what happens here. A very difficult case, and it's only 45 minutes or so from home, but she decides to stay in that town so she can give her full attention to the case. Now, as she's working this particular murder, it's of 2 girls, and one of the girls' stepfather his name is John. Now, this is Nikki's hometown, and so in high school she dated John, and she trusted John, and something happened to her when she was in school 20 years previous. I think it was 20 years ago, and John was pretty much her hero, so she really looked up to this man. Well, now, it's 20 years later, his stepdaughter is murdered, and he eventually becomes a person of interest in the case. And that's very unsettling for Nikki because, this is a guy she trusted in high school. Now, like I said, something happened to Nikki 20 years previously when she was 16 years old. And that brutality was the murder of her parents. And so being back home increases the anxiety she has anyway. And now the town is anxious to discover who killed these girls and what is actually going on. While Nikki is trying to sort all of that out, there's kind of like a petition, or the Innocence Project is at high intensity because the very man that was accused of her parents' murder, and I want to see if I wrote his name down, I did, Mark Todd, has been claiming innocence of her parents' murder for over 20 years, the 20 years that he sat in prison. And now the Innocent Project has found some evidence that just might prove that Mark did not kill Nikki's parents. So one of the people that is spearheading the Innocence Project is Mark's brother, Rory. So Nikki is running into Rory, working on the murders, dealing with being back in the company of John, dealing with John's wife, one of the girls' mother, and her erratic behavior, which of course would be erratic if she lost her daughter. So it's a lot of things at play here. And so what it does is it sets the groundwork for a really, really, what seems to me like it's going to be a really, really good series. So I really love Nikki's character. I do want to move this notification. I want to kind of see how far I come into this video, because like I said, it's going to be two reviews in the video. So that's The Girls in the Snow. This book came out last year. I think it came out in October of 2020. I've had it in my TBR month after month after month. It doesn't matter how many dozens of books I read. For some reason, I never quite got to this book. And so when I got the next book that I'm going to talk about in this video, One Perfect Grave, I'm like, there's no time like the present. Let me read The Girls in the Snow. And I'm really glad I did. And I got to meet Nikki. And that is my first review. So what I'm going to do now is I'm refreshing my screen here so that I can pull up, even though I'm going to pull up my review of One Perfect Grave. If you know me by now, you know that my recall is pretty good. The notes are kind of a crutch, but not something that I really need. But anyway, book number 2, One Perfect Grave, is coming out on February 25th. So that's when both of these reviews will go up. And like I said, because I got One Perfect Grave, I wanted to read The Girls in the Snow. Now, The Girls in the Snow, I gave 4 stars. But now we're into book number 2, One Perfect Grave. Book cover's up there, and I gave it 5 stars. Now, Nikki's back in Stillwater, okay? She solved the previous case. Something happened with Mark Todd. Won't tell you what happened, because in case you didn't read the first book, I don't want to make it a spoiler. And now she has another murder, and she's contacted by a reporter and is asked to look into the murder of a child and the disappearance of another child. Now, Nikki's got a young daughter. I believe she's 6 years old. The daughter goes and stays with her dad, which happens usually when Nikki gets involved with an intense murder case. And now Nikki is drawing close to her new boyfriend, and also worrying about how his family will accept her in the relationship. Now, I'm not going to say who her boyfriend is in this video, because you may want to go and read The Girls in the Snow first and then this one. So we're going to leave her boyfriend's name out. Now, excuse me, I almost dropped my laptop there. I had just read The Girls in the Snow, and then the very next book I read was this one, One Perfect Grave. So I had already started to get to know Nikki as a character, as a special agent of the FBI, as a member of the BAU, as a mother, and now as a girlfriend, in what will prove to be a challenging relationship based on prior events. So with all that said and done, I loved watching this story develop. I loved watching the fact that this case here had ulterior motives. You had people who seemed like they were guilty, but then some of those people were actually victims. And all along, there was still a missing child. Where is this child? Will Nikki be able to find him alive? And let's see, was there anything else? No, I guess that would be it. You've got the case at hand, Nikki's life, and the ulterior motive, and who the actual perpetrator of these crimes ended up being. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. I really look forward to reading more about Nikki, and maybe by the time I review the 3rd book in the series, I can tell you who the boyfriend is, and we'll see where that relationship goes, especially because, remember, as I said earlier in this video, Nikki came from a difficult past, and it was that difficult past that has shaped her into the person, the agent, and the woman that she is today. So those are my 2 reviews for Stacy Green's books, The Girls in the Snow, One Perfect Grave, the Nikki Hunt series, books 1 and 2. These are both from Bookature. and I got them from NetGalley. So the link will be in the description below. Both links will be in the description below. And as an Amazon affiliate, I feel like it's a broken record, especially since I'm making a dozen videos in one sitting, believe it or not. As an Amazon affiliate, if you should purchase the book, I would get a few pennies towards my Amazon account, but it will not affect your cost of the book. That needs to be said from time to time. But in any event, I want to thank you for your time, and you'll see this book review go up on the release date. Bye-bye.